it just proves what we already knew, is that there's something drastically wrong with your brain power. Something drastically wrong with your discernment. Drastically wrong. Like you are absolutely on a different dimension. Like, do you ever watch Superman's Bizarro World? Yeah. You get my drift. Anyway, so that's one small aspect. Here's another one. Who are you punishing by hurting, let's say, my car? The insurance company is going to pay. I'm going to pay a deductible, which is going to hurt me, not Elon, not Tesla, because it's still the best car in the world. Why would I buy anything else? If you set my car on fire, why would I not buy another Tesla? Because of you? No, I don't worry about you anymore. You're in jail. You're in jail because my Sentry mode is going to snitch on you. You're going to jail. You might think it's an acceptable form of protest. You're going to find out it's an acceptable entry form into a jail cell. If you think it's worth it, then you just go ahead. You're going to have a record for the rest of your life, and not a record for a traffic violation. This is going to be a criminal, felony type record for you for the rest of your life. Okay, if you think it's worth it, like I said, then you do you. But remember, you did not hurt Elon. You did not hurt Tesla. You hurt Clyde, and you hurt the insurance company. You helped my mechanic by giving him more work to do. If that's what you're setting out to accomplish, then you're doing it. In a small scale, by the way, folks. For those of you who think this is a big, widespread problem, you're totally wrong. I mean, like, you are so wrong. It's just like when they say murders in Chicago are just rampant. Like, if they were as rampant as they try to make it seem, the population of Chicago would have been down to like 3 people by now. It's not what they're telling you. It's just because they amplify every situation to make it look like it's everywhere. There are over 8 billion with a B, billion people in the world. If 50 people are acting like total, whatever you want to place in there for a word, I'll just leave the word place. If that's what it is, if it's 100 out of 8 billion, if it's 1,000 out of 8 billion, if it's 1,000,000 out of 8 billion, do you realize how small of a fringe group that is? Of course, there's a lot of people that are going to be very upset and they're going to be worked up over having their vehicles vandalized and all that good stuff. But you're hurting the individual people. Some people who may have saved all their life to get a Tesla, and you go and you put them behind the 8 ball by making them pay a deductible on their insurance. You're not really using your brains very well, people. Let me add this. If Elon is a Z, don't you think maybe you should leave it to the people who would consider that type of person their highest enemy in the world to deal with? Why would you be dealing with it for them when they're not asking you to? I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but I mean, to me it makes sense. You know what? If somebody with a hood on, with a pointy top, and cut out eyes, did something to my car, are you going to step up? No, you're not. It's going to be up to me to deal with them, isn't it? Whether that be because Tesla's Sentry Cam catches it and sends it off to the police, or if I find the person myself and I deal with it 100%. Okay, you can support me in my anger. You can support me in my effort by saying, you know what, Clyde, I understand. Like, I don't approve of using violence or whatever, but I do understand. And you know what, I endorse your actions to a certain degree. I mean, I don't know what else you're supposed to do. What you folks are doing, the ones who are doing it and are getting caught and are going to jail, is you're hurting yourselves more than you're hurting anybody else. Insurance companies got billions of dollars. They don't care about your little protest. They don't care. They're just going to raise the rent, they're just going to raise your rates as well as the people whose vehicles are being damaged. Everybody's going to pay for the damage that you folks are doing to each and every Tesla. And then the people who are getting caught are going to pay with years of their lives. And as you can see in the States, up to 20 years for felony, I can't remember what they call it, malicious damage or felony something or other. Wow. Anyway, folks, you know what I'm talking about. You guys have to really sit down and talk to your friends and families and say, you know what? Yeah, I don't believe that that's the right way to go. And anybody who agrees that it's the right way to go needs to be talked to by their family and friends. All right? So, you guys do that. We'll keep doing us. You keep doing you. And remember, let me add this. Remember when Chevy was like the top brand in all North America? Everybody knew that Chevys were the most reliable. They were this, they were that, they were fantastic. So what if all of a sudden you came up with a Ford and every Chevy owner started burning down your Fords, smashing the windows, scratching the sides? How about if right now everybody did their research and found out that Volkswagen's origin was in the NZ scenario, and they had started attacking all of them? You people don't understand what you're starting. You're opening up a can of worms that you don't want to explode. You really don't, because you're making a parallel for anybody else who wants to do whatever they want to do for whatever reason they want to do it. You live in a condo, and we hate condos because they block our view from the lakes and the trees and everything else. So you know what? It's totally within our rights to protest condos and go out there and smash every one of your windows, light fires in your hallways. Like, are you kidding me? You seriously think that you can justify what people are doing in any way, shape, or form? Wow. Like, it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. How about this? Oh, you're a hunter? Well, I don't like that you're a hunter, so therefore I'm going to go and I'm going to shoot up your car and I'm going to set fire to your home. Who do you think does all the hunting that goes to your table every day? Who do you think? Big corporations are hunting every day to keep food on your table. And a hunter is out there trying to put food on his own table so he doesn't get charged exorbitant amounts for the same stuff you're eating. Now, just to clarify, do I like hunting? No. Do I condone hunting? No. Will I ever want to become a hunter? Not willingly. But if you stranded me out in the wilderness, I'm going to become a hunter. Right? It's going to be predator and prey. And whoever survives the ordeal becomes the winner. I know, long-winded, right? It's only because I'm stuck in this traffic that I'm just kind of rambling. But folks, please talk to each other. Spread knowledge. Don't spread just hatred. Spread knowledge. Spread knowledge. Why? Knowledge is the only power we will ever have in this world. That's it. The only power we'll ever have. As an individual, knowledge helps inform our actions. Hopefully. Some people don't use knowledge to inform their actions. They use their actions to inform their knowledge. So it's like, if I did it, it's okay. That's knowledge. No, that's not knowledge. That's the opposite. Folks, listen. Just understand. Tesla is never going to give up or give in. But they will keep an open mind. And they will try to understand what you folks are upset about. But you need to speak up. And then you need to bring receipts. You can't just bring a rumor that you heard from your neighbor or the person down the road. Don't bring rumors, bring receipts. If you have receipts, then show them. Show them. And it's okay to be angry at something, or at someone, or at some company, or at some anything. It's okay to be angry. But it's what you do with that anger. All right? Which will be informed by knowledge. Anyway, I'm going to let you go on that one. I love you all anyway, regardless of whether or not you're at a deficit or you're on top of the world. I just wish you folks would do some decent research and be informed. Stay safe, stay healthy, above all, stay as happy as humanly possible. And just know, we won't give up, we won't give in, but we'll keep an open mind to gather our knowledge, being the only power we will ever own. Alright folks, love you all. I'll show you some clips of anything that occurs between now and my destination. Otherwise, that will be my sign-off. Got no power, you just got noise. See that vehicle ahead of us? That's what I should be driving. I was not aware of how amazing the Model Y was when I bought this Model 3. I don't even know if they had them in inventory because everything was pretty well gone. New cars were gone. Used cars were gone. People were paying exorbitant amounts for any car they could get their hands on, whether it be used or new. They were almost like a bidding war for the homes that were going on. And I bought the first one I saw because everything was so scarce. When we were looking on the used vehicle inventory for Tesla, there were 4 vehicles there. And they were all Model 3s. 3 or 4, I can't remember. Anyways, and they were more expensive than buying brand new. This was the only Model 3 on the website in inventory that was ready to go. So I jumped on it. Said, sold. I should have asked him, what do you have in the way of this Model Y I hear about? But I hadn't been hearing very much about it. I knew about the Model Y, but people were not really saying anything. And remember, I only wanted a Tesla so that I could reap the benefits up until the Cybertruck came and I could have traded it in. I think I'm past that point now. 151,584 kilometers. Yeah, I think I'm past the point of trade-in. What do you think? Would you have bought a Model Y or a Model 3? I can tell you this. I love the performance of the Model 3. I love its sporty stature. I love the way it hugs curves and the way it handles. I love it. I love the way its power feels because you're in a much lower vehicle. But if I had it to do over again, I'd get the Model Y, which is pretty well the same performance, pretty close to the same handling, pretty close to everything else, but it's got a whack more room, a lot more storage. Oh my Lord, like, there are so many reasons why I would have picked the Model Y over the Model 3. But if I could afford it, I would have got both. Oh, let me just finish off on what I was talking about before. If there was 1 million of these vigilante crazies, let's say just in Canada alone, we have 40 million people here. 40 million. So that's 1 in 40 people would be crazies. That's if they were all living here in Canada. Now, if we include the United States, we're looking at 440 million people. That means 1 out of every 440 people would be a crazy. And I don't think there's 1 million, but I'm just saying if there's 1 million. Now, if we add Europe, folks, we're looking at over 800 million people now. 800 million people with 1 million crazies. Your chances of running into any one of those people is so slim. Probably a little better odds than getting struck by lightning. I don't know how many times you've been struck by lightning, but yeah, it's kind of like that. So don't be afraid. Use my link. Get yourself a Tesla. Don't be deterred by these individuals who are misguided, or worse. Misguided would be the nicest way of putting it. Don't let it deter you. They're not going to last very long. Before long, most of them are going to be all put away, tucked away, nice and neat. They're going to have 3 square meals a day. You know, they're going to have their laundry done for them. Like, they're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. Don't fret for those poor people. They're going to be okay. All right? Sorry, I had to add that because I'm thinking so many people are probably getting afraid to even look at buying a Tesla or getting in a Tesla to go for a ride with their buddy or family. Don't be afraid. These people are trying to inflict fear. What do they call it? Terrorism. That's why they've changed their definition to domestic terrorists. That's what terrorists do. They use violence and craziness to try to deter people from doing anything against their way of doing things. Don't be deterred. Beautifully smooth merge. Wow. In between cars. With a car coming up on the right too. Just beautifully done. Smooth. Safe. Okay, this driving skill I gotta let you see. It's wow. It's really good. And safe. It's good and safe. It's working in a hurry up mode, and it's not doing it like crazy nut bar mode. We all love nut bars. Oh, Henry's, you know, Snickers, stuff like that. Yeah. Nut bars on the road, not so much. Like even with this rain, I know I've driven FSD with the wipers on a lower setting and the car drives just fine. So I would think to be perfect, there could still be some tweaking that's going to be necessary for when the robo-taxis are released. We cannot be having passengers in the vehicle and it's driving along and all of a sudden smears the windshields because it's either going too fast or too slow. Right? Because the people inside the vehicle are going to be super inconvenienced when they have to move into a different car. That's going to be worth it. So we have to get that regulated to the wipers go when they're needed. The washer fluid gets activated when it's needed, not before. I don't know if it chose this lane on purpose, but if it did, good for it, because this is the right lane to be in. No pun intended. Nicely done. Even when the line disappeared from view, it still managed to keep its spot on the road. Perfect. That's my old truck there. 4x4 F-150 that we purchased for the roofing company. When I was forced, my arm twisted for me to get the Mustang convertible at the same time. So it became like the corporate car was the Mustang and the workhorse was the F-150. It was wonderful. Yep, that guy was being nice. He was going to let us through, thinking that we had a green light, but we have a left turn signal. All right, folks, I'm going to let this run through some of these streets so you can get to see how well it handles it, and then I'm going to cut it off just a little bit early, just so I'm not, you know, throwing people under the bus. Nice little chalet bungalow. See that NHTSA stop? It's got to go. It has to go. Way back in the day when they used creeping, that was fine. If you creep, but once you see it's clear, you go. You don't come to a NHTSA stop again and then go. Like that's... it's unsafe. Not to mention, absolutely annoying. And I get here 1 minute early.